So, this guy went to war with a president for an adult film star and ended up in prison for stealing from her. Listen to this. That guy's name is Michael, a celebrity lawyer, and in 2018 he is everywhere. He's representing Stormy Daniels in her insane, high-stakes legal battle against the sitting president of the United States, Donald Trump. And Michael is not just a lawyer. He becomes a whole-ass media celebrity. He's on CNN, MSNBC every single night. A sharp suit, sharp tongue, absolutely fearless. He's on Twitter, just blasting away, calling out corruption, promising to take down the most powerful people on the planet. To half the country, this guy is a hero, a gladiator in a $1,000 suit fighting for the little guy against the ultimate titan. He's talking about running for president himself. He has the fame, the power, the access. He looks completely untouchable. But while he's playing the hero on TV, he's running a whole different game behind the scenes, a game that is so greedy, so brazen, it's going to blow his entire world to pieces. Now, while Michael is waging his public war, his client, Stormy, gets a book deal. This isn't some small potatoes contract. This is a major publisher. They give her a huge advance. We're talking a check for $800,000. This money is her story, her life, her big payday for all the chaos. It's supposed to go from the publisher through her lawyer, Michael, and then straight to her. Simple. Standard. Except Michael has other plans for that cash. So, he gets the publisher on the phone, and he sends a letter with instructions for the wire transfer. But the bank account number he provides isn't for Stormy. It's his own. He tells them to send the money to an account that he controls. To make it look legit, the letter needs his client's signature. So what does he do? He just forges it. He scribbles her name on the dotted line and sends it off. The publisher, having no idea, wires the entire $800,000 directly into Michael's personal piggy bank. The money hits his account, and for months, he just sits on it. He doesn't tell her the full amount has even arrived. Instead, he's spending it. We're talking luxury living, paying off his own staff, his own law firm expenses, the bills for his coffee business. He even splashes out on a new Ferrari. Then, to keep her from getting suspicious, he wires her a small piece of it, a payment of like $140,000. He tells her it's an initial payment, that the rest is coming. It's a total lie. He's trying to stall, hoping she won't notice that the other $650,000 has vanished into thin air. He stole from the one person who made him famous. But this isn't even the craziest part. It's not even his only crime. At the exact same time, he's running another, even more insane shakedown. So, get this. While the book deal theft is happening, another client comes to Michael for help. This guy is a coach for an amateur youth basketball program. He claims that the mega corporation Nike had secretly stopped sponsoring his teams because of some shady stuff happening behind the scenes. It's a legitimate-sounding complaint, the kind of case Michael, the supposed champion of the little guy, would be perfect for. The coach just wants justice. He wants his program's funding back. But Michael sees something else. He sees a corporate whale with deep pockets. And he decides he's not going to file a lawsuit. He's going to stage a multi-million-dollar extortion. He gets Nike's lawyers on the phone, and he doesn't talk about settlements or legal filings. No, he delivers a threat. He tells them he has information that will ruin their reputation. He claims he can prove Nike is making illegal payments to the families of high school basketball players. And he says if they don't pay him, he's going to hold a press conference and tank their stock price right before their big quarterly earnings call. This is straight-up mafia tactics. And the price to make this all go away? He tells them he needs a payment, not for his client, but for himself. He demands $1.5 million for the coach, and then a separate payment, a retainer for himself. The price tag for that retainer? He tells them he wants between $15 and $25 million. He thinks he has them cornered. He's a celebrity lawyer. He's got the media in his back pocket. He believes he can bully one of the biggest brands on earth into handing over a fortune. But Nike doesn't freak out. They don't panic. They do something Michael never saw coming. They call the feds. Now the walls start closing in and fast. The FBI is on the case. Nike's lawyers agree to cooperate. So now every single phone call Michael makes to them is being recorded by federal agents. They have him on tape, explicitly threatening to destroy the company's market value if they don't pay up. He's practically narrating his own crime for the government, and while this is all going down, his other scheme is starting to crumble, too. Stormy and her team are getting real suspicious. The rest of her book money is nowhere to be found. She keeps asking where it is, and Michael keeps giving her the runaround, feeding her more lies. Her team starts digging. They start looking at bank records, at the original publisher's contract. The two separate threads of his life, the Nike extortion and the book deal theft, are both unraveling at the exact same time. He has federal prosecutors listening to his phone calls and his most famous client about to discover he's a thief. The clock is ticking. The climax is just brutal. It's March 2019. Michael is on Twitter, doing what he does best. He's tweeting, bragging that he's about to hold a press conference to expose a huge scandal. He's talking about Nike. He thinks he's about to get his massive payday. He is literally in the middle of threatening the company when FBI agents swoop in and arrest him in New York City. One minute, he's the high-flying media warrior about to drop a bombshell. The next, he's in handcuffs. The story explodes. The headlines are insane. The guy who built his entire reputation on fighting for others is now accused of being a common crook, a fraud, an extortionist. The fall from grace is immediate, and it is spectacular. So he goes to trial, not once, but twice, in 2 different cities for 2 different sets of crimes. And the evidence is just overwhelming. First, the Nike case. The prosecution plays the audio recordings for the jury. They hear Michael, in his own voice, trying to shake down Nike's lawyers for millions of dollars. There's no way to spin it. It's a direct, unambiguous threat. The jury finds him guilty. Extortion, honest services fraud. It's a total loss. Then comes the second trial. This one is for stealing from Stormy, and it's even more personal. The prosecution puts up the documents. They show the jury the letter he sent to the publisher, and right there, clear as day, is the forged signature. They show the bank statements, the $800,000 wire transfer from the publisher going into his account. And then they show the jury his own bank records, where that money is immediately spent on his own lavish lifestyle. His own former client, the woman whose name he used to become a star, takes the stand against him. She tells the court how he lied to her again and again. The betrayal is laid bare for the entire world to see. And once again they come back with a verdict. Guilty, wire fraud, aggravated identity theft. So what's the aftermath? The hero of the resistance, the man who wanted to be president, is now a convicted felon, multiple times over. The judge in the Nike case calls his actions outrageous. He gets sentenced to prison time for that. Then the judge in the Stormy Daniels case calls his crime brazen and calculated and sentences him again. First it was years, then more years were added. When all the dust settled, Michael Avenatti was sentenced to a total of 19 years in federal prison. He went from fighting a president on cable news to being just another inmate in the federal system. All because the man who looked like he was fighting for justice was really only ever fighting for himself.